Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Mama June finally wins Kaitlyn's custody battle. Big victory. Mama June has finally won Kaitlyn's custody. She has been battling for a while now and left no stone unturned in getting the legal rights of the latter. Anna Cardwell's ex-husband, Michael, was determined to take Kaitlyn with him and did everything under the sun to win the battle. However, Mama June was victorious and ended up getting Kaitlyn's custody. However, there were several twists and turns before the court awarded her the legal rights of her granddaughter. But on what grounds did she win? What do the legal documents say? What is this all about? Keep reading to know all the details about the final verdict of Shannon and Kaitlyn's court battle. Mama June has been looking after Kaitlyn ever since Anna Cardwell passed away. She started living with her grandmother and has finally adapted to the dynamics. That could be the reason the star kid wanted to live with Shannon and not Michael Cardwell. Anna's daughter stepped up in the court and claimed that she wanted to reside primarily with June and not with the latter. Kaitlyn even made it clear that she didn't want Michael to have visitation rights. She was ready to talk to the judge and express her will to live with June. This surely was a game changer in the legal battle, and things went as per her will. Hence, Shannon was finally awarded the legal rights of Anna's daughter, and she emerged victorious in the long legal battle that she has been fighting for a while now. The final verdict in Kaitlyn's case has finally come in Shannon's favor. The court ordered that Mama June would have the legal and physical custody of the minor. It further stated that Michael wouldn't have any kind of visitation charges. However, Kaitlyn can surely meet the latter if she wants to do so with her grandmother's permission. Hence, everything depends on her will now, and she can finally live with Shannon without any issues. The court documents filed in Georgia finally denied Michael's petition to get Kaitlyn's legal rights. This came after Cardwell claimed that Mama June wasn't the right person to look after the star kid. He pointed out the rest and drug addiction history of Shannon. Michael even brought light to the estranged bond that Anna had with Shannon. He further tried to prove that he had been looking after Kaitlyn and was way more involved than June in Anna's daughter's life. However, Michael's petition couldn't survive against Shannon's counterattacks. She asked him to present proof in court, which he couldn't even do. However, Kaitlyn's statement and her therapist's report changed the direction of the wind. The latter claimed that the star kid feared getting separated from Mama June. Hence, this surely was a game changer, and the court clearly kept her will at the top. Mama June Shannon finally claimed a victory that no one saw coming. After years of public drama, legal battles, and a fierce custody fight that divided her family, she won custody of her granddaughter, Kaitlyn. It was a hard-fought battle, filled with heartache and determination, but for June, this moment marked a turning point in her chaotic life. The courthouse buzzed with tension that morning as June entered, flanked by her lawyers. The weight of the past few years sat heavy on her shoulders. Her relationship with her daughter Anna had been shattered ever since she made the controversial decision to fight for custody of Kaitlyn. For June, it wasn't just about winning custody, it was about proving she was capable of taking responsibility, about redeeming herself after years of personal struggle, and ultimately giving Kaitlyn a stable, loving home. Kaitlyn's father, Michael Cardwell, had fought tooth and nail to retain custody, painting June as an unfit grandmother in court. His legal team presented a laundry list of concerns: Mama June's history with substance abuse, her volatile relationship with her own children, and the questionable decisions she'd made over the years. But June came prepared. With tears in her eyes but a firm resolve, she testified, recounting the difficult road she'd taken to turn her life around. This was not the same Mama June who had once lost herself to addiction and fame. This was a woman who had fought to rebuild her life and earn back the trust of her family. "I know I messed up," June had told the judge, her voice steady. "But I love my granddaughter, and I'm here to do right by her. Kaitlyn needs stability. She needs family. She needs me." The court had been a battleground, with each side hurling accusations and personal wounds laid bare for all to see. Michael argued that June's past was too troubled, too inconsistent, and too dangerous for her to be trusted with Kaitlyn. But June's legal team countered that Michael had been an absent father for much of Kaitlyn's life, leaving Anna to raise her alone. When June entered the fight for custody, she knew she was up against more than just the legal system. She was facing years of public perception, a media narrative that had painted her as a tabloid spectacle rather than a mother and grandmother who cared deeply for her family. But June had spent the past 2 years working on herself. She'd gone through rehab, completed family counseling, and rekindled her relationship with her daughters, including Anna. It hadn't been easy, but she was determined to prove to everyone, most of all to herself, that she could be the caregiver Kaitlyn needed. As the final court session began, the judge addressed both parties with a somber expression. June held her breath, clutching the edge of the wooden table in front of her. She could feel the eyes of the room on her daughters sitting quietly behind her, their support a silent but powerful force. "Kaitlyn's welfare is my utmost priority," the judge began, her voice even and careful. "This case has not been easy, and both parties have presented strong arguments. However, I must consider the best interests of the child in determining custody." June's heart pounded. She couldn't read the judge's expression, and she feared the worst. This battle had dragged on for months, and the stress had taken its toll. Yet, in that moment, she allowed herself a sliver of hope. She had done everything she could. She had shown up, not just in court but in life, making amends and showing love. "Miss Shannon," the judge finally said, her gaze landing on June, "I commend you for the efforts you've made to better yourself and to prove your commitment to Kaitlyn's well-being. It is clear you have taken serious steps to provide a safe and stable environment for her. Based on the evidence presented, I am awarding you full custody of Kaitlyn." The words echoed in the courtroom, and for a second June couldn't move. Time seemed to stop as the realization washed over her. She had won. She had finally won. Her breath caught in her throat as tears welled up in her eyes. She turned to her daughters, and for the first time in a long time, she felt a wave of pride and relief flood through her. She had fought for Kaitlyn, and she had won. Her daughters hugged her, the years of estrangement and bitterness fading away, at least for that moment. This victory wasn't just about Kaitlyn, it was about family, about healing, redemption, and starting fresh. Outside the courthouse, June faced the swarm of cameras and reporters waiting for her reaction. This wasn't her first time in the spotlight, but today it was different. This time she wasn't the scandalized reality star or the woman who had hit rock bottom. Today she was a grandmother who had fought for her family and won. "I did it for Kaitlyn," June said, her voice thick with emotion as she addressed the media. "She deserves to be with family. She deserves to be loved, and I'm going to make sure she gets everything she needs." The news spread quickly. Fans and critics alike were shocked by the outcome, with many still skeptical about whether June was truly ready to take on such a huge responsibility. But June didn't care about the doubters. She knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy, and that Kaitlyn's upbringing would come with its own set of challenges. But for the first time in years, she felt like she was on solid ground. As June left the courthouse that day, her mind raced with thoughts of what came next. The weight of the responsibility she had taken on was heavy, but she was ready for it. She was ready to show Kaitlyn and the world that Mama June was back, better than ever, and fully prepared to give her granddaughter the life she deserved. This victory was more than just a legal win, it was a second chance, and Mama June was determined not to waste it.